guys, how are you? I just finished knitting this ear warmers and I'm loading the tutorial just now. So I made it especially for people in Zimbabwe, South Africa, those people that are approaching winter very soon. I made this one for you, and this is a simple, super fast project that you can do as a beginner knitter. Yeah, so do check that on my channel, Tsungie. Please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Yeah, I'm really loving it, you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, bye bye. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You guys, we are now at 98 subscribers. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, so let's just get into the video. Okay, so what you're going to need, you're going to need some one ball of 100 grams this thick yarn, acrylic yarn. If you do not have it, you can just use the normal acrylic yarn, but you double it, so use 2 strands. Yeah, we are using a size 6mm hook, needs a scissors and a tapestry needle to sew at the end. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so let's get into it. So to begin, I'm going to do a slip knot. So I'm going to take my yarn, wrap it on my finger. On one side it will form an X, on the other it will form 2 lines. So now I'm going to lift this one, and I'm going to grab the one that's behind and just pull it at the same time I was holding my yarn, and that's a slip knot. Then I'll put my knit and tighten that. Then after that, I'm going to cast on my stitches. To do that, I'm going to wrap my yarn on my finger like this, and I'm going to insert my knit and release. Insert my knit into that loop and release. That's 3. So do it one more time. Insert my hook into that loop and release. So that's 4. So I'm going to cast on 30. So I've cast on 4. I'm going to cast off the rest of camera. Okay, so after casting on my 30 stitches, I'm going to insert my knit like this as though I want to purl. Then I'm going to slowly release that stitch just like that. Now I want to knit, so I'm going to take my yarn and put it other side like this. I'm going to knit all the rest of all the stitches. So I'm going to insert my knit like this, wrap, and I'm going to pull that yarn through like that. So I'm going to insert my knit like that, wrap the yarn, and sort of move my knit to go down. Then I do this and release the stitch. That's knitting. For detailed knitting, please check my previous video. So I'm going to set my knit like that, wrap, and scoop that stitch out, then release the stitch. So okay, so I've knitted all the stitches, and now I'm going to the second row, to the row number 2. So first of all, to straighten our edges, I'm going to insert my knit purlwise, put my yarn on this side, and I release that stitch, right? Then after that, I'm going to take my yarn, put it on this side because I want to knit. I'm going to knit the next 5 stitches. So insert my knit from the front, wrap, pull it through and release. Insert my knit from the front, wrap, put it through, and like that. So let me do that off. Okay, so I've finished knitting the 5. I'm going to put my hook this side in front of me, and now I'm going to start purling. So that's the second row. And to purl, you put your knit like this, and I'm going to wrap my yarn top going down, and I'm going to push my knit to go down, and I'll go down with that loop, and I'll release the stitch. Do it one more time. Insert my knit from this side, wrap top down, push my knit to go down, and I will go down with that loop and release. Okay, so I've purled 2. I'm going to purl 16 more. In total, we're going to purl 18 stitches. Then I'll come back, then I'll knit 6 stitches. Okay, so I've purled a total of 18 stitches. So I'm going to take my yarn, put it this other side, and I'm going to knit the remaining 6 stitches, and that's okay. So these are the only 2 rows that you need to be doing. We're going to repeat these rows 1 and 2 until you have 6 rows. So we've done 2, so we're going to do 4 more rows. So row 1, 3 and 5 will be the same. You're going to knit everything. Then row 2, 4 and 6 will be like the second row. Okay, so let me do the rest and I'll come back. Done my 6 rows, and my thing should look like this on this side and like this on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to do like I'm going to release the first stitch, and I'm going to knit the next 5. So let me knit the next 5 off camera. Right, so I've finished knitting them. So now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to start casting off. So to do that, I'm going to put my knit under two stitches like this. Then I'm going to knit as normal. Then I release those 2 stitches. So now I'm going to remain with 1 loop, and this 1 loop I'm going to put it back on this stitch, and I'm going to repeat again. Put my knit under 2 stitches, then knit as normal, then I release those 2 stitches, then I take this loop that I'm left with, and I put it on the other stitch. So what I'm essentially doing, I am casting off. So I want to do it for the 18 stitches, so I'm going to continue to do this. Okay, so let me do it until I'm left with like 1, then I come back. Okay, so I'm left with 1 stitch on the 18, then I've got the 6. So I'm going to put my knit again back into that stitch. Then I'm going to take 1 of the 6 and I knit together. Then I put this loop back into that stitch like that. Then I have 6. After this, if you look at my thing, I have managed to close off the part where we had the 18 stitches. So now I'm going to knit as normal. I'm going to knit the rest of the stitches as normal. Okay, sorry, I'm going to knit as normal. I'm going to do the rest off camera. Okay, so I've finished knitting the 6. You should have something like this: 6 in front, 6 at the back, and a gap in the middle. So now what I'm going to do, turn my thing, then I release the first stitch as usual, as normal, then I knit the next 5. Okay, let me do it off camera. Okay, so I've knitted my 5 stitches, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast on. I'm going to turn my thing, I'm going to cast on 18 stitches. I'm going to wrap my yarn on my finger like this, and I will cast on just like we did at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to cast on 18 and I come back. Okay, so I've cast on 18 and I'm going to knit the rest of the 6 stitches as normal until I get to the end. Okay, so once you do this, you start again. So we're starting another 6 rows. Do this until you have 14 these things, 14 of them. So let me come back with a 14. 6 rows, 6 rows like this. You're going to do 14. Then let me quickly do these next 6 so that I'll quickly show you how I cast off. Now I'm going to quickly show you like when you do the 14, these 14, how you end. So you're going to slip your first stitch and you're going to put your yarn at the correct side underneath your first stitch. It is normal. So now you're going to take this loop and put it over the other one like this. Then you need the next one. Then you take this loop and you put it over the other one like this. You need the next stitch. You take this, put it over the other one. Okay, and you cut your yarn and you simply put that yarn inside the loop and you pull, and that's all that you do. To assemble, I'm going to take the last part, the first one, just hold it, then twist it like this, holding it up. Then I'm going to take the one in front and pull it through, put it inside that one, right? And I'm going to take the one in front, this one, and put it in this one. See, it's already creating like braid. So I'm going to continue to do that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just sew the two ends, so nothing fancy, this part and this part. Just going to sew it together. It's the same color, so you don't need to worry about the sewing showing. I'm just sewing side to side. Later on, so I'm going to sew this part and also sew this part. So let me quickly do that. Okay, so when you finish sewing the two sides, you're going to take this loop and you guys just going to like sew it on. Again, nothing fancy, simply holding it in place. Okay, do it one more time. And I'll tie these two. And cut.